Breakfast this morning.
I had a breakfast. Some water, some Gatorade. Make sure I'm water light.
All right, ready, start, roll.
Speaking of course, the fastest man to ever do it, Usain Bolt. You're on 800 meters today, commercially. How is it going?
Well, it was rough. It was tough. I have to show respect to the 800 meter run. I did a few, but I guess I'm a little bit more out of shape than I thought. But Carmax put down a challenge, and I could have backed down. And it was something that I enjoyed doing. I guess I missed track and field a little bit, so I accepted the challenge.
Not a competitive race, but you're wearing again the national colours. Talk to us about how that actually felt.
For me, it was good. When they told me that I was going to wear Jamaica colours, it felt good to know that's the Olympics here, and I was just a part of it. It gave me that Olympic fever, if you want to put it that way. But I'm always happy to put on my Jamaican colours because that's what I've always done. Even now that I've retired, I've always tried to represent Jamaica.
Talk about missing track and field. It would be your first Olympic Games since retirement that you'll not be there. What are you thinking about that?
For me, I'm actually excited. I was excited to be there. You understand? That's something I wanted, but I'm excited to just see track and field back this year, and just to see all the athletes putting out their best. And I know they're happy also. Just to sit out here is always going to be tough. So I'm just looking forward to just watching the competition, seeing who's going to show up on the day.
How does it feel to actually see the games taking place this year after the issues we have had last season?
For me, it's great to see this. You understand? I know all the athletes are happy just to be back on the track competing. And for me, as an athlete, I know it must feel after going 1 year without competing to now getting ready for the Olympics. So I'm happy to see the competition. I'm happy to see the level that they will compete at, because I know it must be tough coming off of a year of no competition to now competing at the highest level.
How do you feel about Jamaica's team heading to Tokyo?
Well, the girls are impressive. I must say, everyone is looking good. The 100 meter, 200 meter, the triple jump, the jumpers, for me, is looking very impressive. So for me, I know that the girls will make us proud. I'm a little disappointed in the men, but it's one of those things.
Many would have thought that you would be involved in sport post-retirement, post-competition. What have you been up to?
For me, I wanted to be a part of it. I've always said at the end of my career that the IWF president, if you need me to do anything, just call. I haven't gotten the call yet, you understand, but I always still come up to the track and try to give Coach Men's athlete at the Racer Track Club as much motivation as I possibly can, just to be there so they can ask me questions and stuff like that. But my main focus now is to work with my sponsors, with like Carmax, and I've been doing a lot of music. You understand? I'm also continuing with my foundation. So those are the three main things I'm focusing on, and otherwise I'm on a business venture, but when they come we'll talk about it.
It's a music. Talk to us a bit more about that.
Well, for me now, music was always a love of mine throughout my career. If you follow my career, you'll know, you understand? So we've been putting out a lot of different things. We did Clockwork for our last rhythm, and also we have a single with NJ, Oh No, It's a Party, so you can go check that out.
All right, as the ultimate showman, how would you have coped with running in an empty stadium like the athletes now will be doing in Tokyo, given the state of emergency that has been put into place because of the COVID situation in Japan?
I really don't know. I can't tell you the truth. I really don't know how I would cope with that, because for me, the fans are what I feed off and really work to strive and to perform for. So I think it would have taken a lot of adjustments. I think maybe throughout the season I would have to get used to it, and then when I get to the Olympics I'll be ready. But I'm always a focused person. I'm always there to perform, but also to win.
So the athletes going in, your suggestion to them?
I'll just focus, just remind yourself of the goal that you've been working on. Remind yourself of the work that you have put in over the past 2 years, because I know that they had to train throughout the years. For last year, although it was postponed, they had to keep on training. So just remember the struggles and just remember your goals and to push on.
So we go back to the track now, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, surely she would have won her first Olympic Games, where you won your first as well in Beijing 2008. She's run 10:63 this season, second fastest woman of all times. Your thoughts on how she's been going at this point of her career?
For me, Shelly-Ann has really impressed me, you understand? I've always shown her a lot of love because I know she has a talent. We have come up through the youth system together, so I've seen her just develop into a wonderful sprinter. I know that she has proven to the world that she's as great as she is. I text her and tell her keep doing what she's doing. I can see that she adjusted her technique this season a lot, and that's what's helping her to run so fast because now she's a lot more fluent and upright in the last ending of her race.
Of course, she goes into the Olympic Games trying to become the first woman to win 3 100 meters title. Of course, you're the only man to have done it. How do you rate her chances?
For me, it's up there. I personally feel that Shelly is the only person that can lose this race. You understand? I hope she doesn't put too much pressure on herself going in because she's in shape, she's in form. All she has to do is go there and execute, and it shouldn't be a problem. So for me, I'm looking forward to seeing her, and I know she can do it. And I'd be happy to share something like that to win 3 Olympics with somebody like Shelly-Ann Fraser as my countrywoman.
All right, and she also doing the double this year. She's finally dipped under 22 seconds, 21:79 at the trials to complete the double. Is it likely that she could complete her first double at the Olympic Games?
I was surprised that she actually ran because I remember last time she actually did it. She was like, you saying, I don't know how you did this. But now that it's all about determination. You can tell that she's determined because, as I said, she has adjusted her form and she's looking pretty good. You can tell she put in the work. So it's just all up to her. It's all about execution. I think the 200 is going to be a lot tougher because after coming from the 100. So for me, I believe in her and I can see the work and the talent. So for me, it shouldn't be a problem as long as she focus and just continue pushing forward.
Of course. So look on the men's side now, and you would have led a lot of head-to-head battles with Jamaica versus USA. We seem to be struggling in that sense. But how you look back at the battles we had with America and the fact that it looks like it is fizzling this time around?
Well, it's really disappointing to see this. I felt like we had a good crop of athletes for the last couple of Olympics. So for me, it really bothers me to know that this is where we are right now. Most of the world is ahead of us. You understand? So going into the men, it's going to be a tough stuff. So for me, I'm just disappointed. You understand? Because I think we do have the talent. It's just to harvest and people to take the training seriously and get it done.
Well, one of the top coaches in Jamaica recently said that a lot of young talent, the issue that we're having is that they're not going to establish coaches after leaving high school, and that's affecting their transition.
Yes and no, you understand? Sometimes I think it's just the work, because I've seen personally on hand that we have had athletes with a lot of talent at Razor Track Club, and it's just that the mindset, a lot of people don't have the mindset of being great. They are okay with just making a little bit of money, and that's it. No one wants to be an Olympic champion. No one dreams big. They dream of just money. And yes, money is good, but you have to dream to being great, and the money will come.
You've spoken at length about Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Now, I'm not going to ask you about her again. Elaine Thompson, she's going to the Olympics as a double defending sprint champion. Something you have done quite a few times in your career. So what's your advice to her?
For me, I saw that she showed up in the last race and got Shelly-Ann Fraser. And it's good. Competition is good. Like me and you and Blake throughout the years, we have always pushed each other to be better. So for me, that's very good that they know head-to-head and continue pushing each other, because it only benefits us as Jamaicans that we have two top-class athletes that really push each other to run fast and to do better.
In a sense, they almost need each other.
Yes, I think it's definitely good to have somebody that you can compete with, that you really know and expect to show up, you understand, and you both are running for the same country.
We've had a bit of controversy in the drums and the throws, where on a Diamond League in particular, we see that you're now down to a jump off or a throw off to decide who wins, and the person who is leading may end up losing. You never had to deal with that. Your thoughts on this?
For me, the first time hearing about this actually, but that's crazy. You know what I mean? It's always a rule, simple. Who's leading wins. End of story. For me, I think when you start changing the rules or try to do things, you kind of put a damper on the sports and also make it tougher for the athletes.
All right. So we've seen advances in shoe stroke spike technology, and athletes are now getting an opportunity to actually run faster. We've seen a number of records going distant races so far. We've seen the 4 hurdles, men and women, going as well. Your thoughts on spike technology, what it is doing for the sport now in terms of the records being challenged?
For me, I see that it's bridging when I was told about it, I couldn't believe that this is what we have gone to. You know what I mean? That we are really adjusting the spikes to a level where now it's giving us advance to run even faster. And for me, it's weird to know. You understand? And I think it's unfair for all of the athletes because I know that in the past they actually tried, and people said no, we can't change the spikes. To know that now they're actually doing it. It's laughable, but it's just one of those things. So we'll see. I can't do anything about it. A rule is a rule.
Who are the athletes to watch? You think the youngsters coming in, not the established athletes, the youngsters going into Tokyo?
For me, I don't call anything now. You understand? I've noticed that for some reason that my mouth, as Jamaicans, a goat mouth. So I just watch and just to see the talent come. I just watch these guys. For the 17-year-old have really impressed me in the US trials. So let's see in the near future what he will do.
That's young Nathan that got your World Junior record. Your thoughts on him and what you've seen of him so far?
Well, he's young. He has a lot more work to do and a lot more ways to develop. So all I have to do is just keep my eye on him and to see what he will become in the near future. It's all about dedication and consistency. So hopefully he can stay consistent and focused.
Are you looking at a particular medal count for Jamaica in Tokyo?
I think for me, most of the medals will come from the girls for sure. Or a jumper, long jumper is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. But those are mostly on the women's side, and then on the men, I'm telling you, it's just for me, it's just the jumper that I really can say right now. Other persons, they're doing okay, but they're not at the level which we know that the Olympics will produce.
So clearly, we would have seen young Sha'Carri Richardson having some issues with marijuana.
Yeah.
She's out of the Olympic Games. What would be kind of your thoughts to her as she tried to rebound and come here?
For me, I've explained to people, because a lot of people have come up to me and asked me about this, and I've always explained to people that the rules are the rules. I've been saying this throughout my years when it comes to drugs. I have nothing to say about the rules are the rules, you understand? If they say if you do this and this is the rule, that is the rule, you understand? So for me, hopefully she can learn from this and just push on. I know that she has gone through a lot, you understand, but I hope she can refocus and just push on and do her best because she's like a really talented athlete.
You mentioned Sha'Carri, and you're quite clear, rules are rules. It's a sentiment that has been echoed across the world as well. But there's also discussion about removing marijuana from the anti-doping list. Is that something you would support?
I can't determine the rules, you understand? For me, the WAD or the head of the drug committee have to determine that, you understand? I guess they will do their research and determine if it has a benefit of running. Because throughout the years they've always said marijuana will help you to run faster. So if they determine that, what can I say, is the rules are the rules.